Howdy, y'all. Asha Hawksworth here for a particularly merry edition of Redneck Lesbian, the show that evangelicals would surely boycott if they knew it existed. Today's episode came about because I read the Washington Post on a daily basis. And yes, that is a big mainstream media production owned by one of the handful of people who definitely took more than their fair share and think they deserve it. Jeff Bezos, whose name is only one letter shy of evoking a horde of clowns. But I digress. I read the Post mostly to keep up with Big Brother's viewpoint, and sometimes they have some worthwhile articles, kind of like Playboy in that regard, only, well, you know. Anyway, they put out their yearly holiday gift guide, which I perused with some interest. And it struck me that the whole exercise was the most ridiculous, elitist, blue state crap I've ever seen. Now, I get that some people have more money than they know what to do with. And I get that many of those people also don't know their own friends and family well enough to successfully buy them a decent present, but Jesus H. Christ. Apparently, journalists nowadays are so moneyed up by their corporate overseers that they have lost touch with the way working class people think. If I had to depend on my friends to read this list, I'd bow out of white elephant altogether. Now, I'm sure the New York Times probably suggested similarly stupid and useless things, but I don't subscribe to a rag that openly ponders whether it's all right to have Nazis in your neighborhood. So I don't know what god-awful crap they've been paid to recommend, but I do know that the Post is recommending pure shit that wouldn't even appeal to the majority of middle-class Democrats. And it definitely would not appeal to rednecks. So, as a public service, I have come up with an alternative list of gift ideas that are ideal for rednecks and maybe even for your average Purple State Joe. The Post divided up their gifts by category, so I'm going to do that too. And I swear on my grimoire that I did not make any of these things up. Every last one of them is real and available for purchase. Tech category. The Post recommendation is a sous vide precision cooker by Anova for $129. Sous what, you may well ask? Apparently that's French for boiling stuff. They recommend it for meat, and that's problematic in so many ways. First off, rednecks do not want your French shit unless it's a fried potato. And there are only 3 ways to cook meat: on the grill, in the smoker, or all damn day in the oven. And if you don't like it, that's what barbecue sauce is for. So instead of spending $129 on this ridiculous contraption that no one will ever figure out how to use, get yourself a big bottle of Redneck lipstick barbecue sauce for $10 and call it a day. Their next recommendation was an Electrofan white noise machine by Adaptive Sound Technologies for $38. I don't know why people who live in noisy cities need extra noise to go to sleep, but most rednecks are lulled to sleep by the sound of the TV. Those who don't live a quarter mile from their neighbor have other sounds to rely on, including the unceasing barking of dogs in other people's backyards, their neighbors shooting off fireworks at 11 p.m., or just families yelling at each other in the mobile home park. Suffice to say that any redneck is going to laugh you out of the room if you give them one of these things. Instead, may I suggest the TJ Wiseman fart machine for $16, which works from 100 yards away, and that's a whole football field. It also has added bass and volume for a more realistic effect. I can guarantee you that nothing will please a redneck man more than the ability to telegraph loud fart sounds all over a high school gymnasium. Next, the Post recommended the classic 3 Bidet by Tushy for $99. Now, I realize that the great toilet paper shortage of 2020 jolted awareness into many people of just how close we all were to cleaning our asses with our hands. But giving someone a device to shoot cold water up their butt seems like an odd way to say, I love you. So if you're considering this for your redneck friends, let me just say that they already have alternate means of dealing with their daily dump in the form of showers and garden hoses. But if you insist on pursuing this path, let me turn you in a friendlier direction: the bumper dumper. Yes, it's the original trailer hitch mountable portable toilet. It may look like a bucket with a toilet seat fastened to it, and that's because it is. But the genius that you have to appreciate is the way your trailer hitch will keep your toilet suspended in air above the grass, because chigger bites suck. Oh, and by the way, you do have to provide your own 5-gallon bucket. The home category. The Post recommended these bubble rocking tumblers by Monica Lubkovska-Jonas. It's $60 for a set of 4. Now, glasses that rock are fucking confusing for drunk people. And these round bottom glasses rock, which also means you might end up spilling your Jim Beam, which would be criminal. And obviously, being made of glass, you know that little Bobby or the dog is going to break every last one of them in no time. They're also hand wash only, which is never going to happen. They're going to sit in that sink for 5 days until daddy gets mad about all the dishes, and then they're going to be crammed into the dishwasher where they'll be scoured on high heat. And the damn things cost $15 a piece. The idea of special glasses for alcohol is very New England and all that, but all your redneck relative needs is a few decent beer koozies, because beer is going to go straight from the can to their parched lips. With that in mind, may I suggest the Make America Drunk Again beer koozie, the Liberal Tears Make Drinking Great Again koozie, or possibly the more honest Hillbilly Green Camo koozie. For the crafty type, you can also crochet a beer koozie for your beloved Bubba, complete with a headless woman's bikini body. Price anywhere from $4 to $8. Next, the Post recommended a coiled cotton bowl for $40. And this is basically a bowl fashioned out of cotton rope. It has a green stripe in the middle, which does not strike me as particularly African in itself. You can't put liquids in it, and you can't throw it in the wash. So they recommend it for stuff like keys, spare change, and junk like that. In other words, it's a $40 junk drawer. But if your friends would rather keep their junk drawers out on the coffee table or whatever, I have a much simpler solution. Mason jars. They come with lids, or you can leave them open. You can throw them in the dishwasher, and they come in packs of 6. So you can put one in every room. They're useful for all kinds of shit, and I promise you that no one is ever going to question why a mason jar is on your end table. They're $16.99 for 6. Next, the Post recommended some tile mat by Letterfolk. It goes anywhere from $75 to $100. This is a doormat made of 2-color vinyl tiles that you can detach, so you can be creative and stuff. You flip the tiles over to the other color, so you can misspell every word in the English language on there. Or you could spell out Trump 2024 to keep all the libtards out. It all sounds like good fun and games until you read the fine print, though. It says that oil-based stuff and certain liquids might stain, and it's vinyl, which isn't going to remove any mud. So maybe it's better off hanging on the wall. This is not what I would call a good working doormat, and that price tag is kind of steep. Instead, make your Redneck a custom mud removal kit. A high pressure garden hose nozzle combined with a flathead long screwdriver. The hose nozzle will loosen up the mud, and the screwdriver is there to dig out any lingering mud from the treads. Sometimes the old ways are best. You can get this kit together for 20 bucks. In the video games category, the post recommended Hitman 3 by IO Interactive, and it costs anywhere from 40 to 80 bucks depending on whether you want all the features. Sure, the post recommended other games too, but this is the only good one if you want to practice for the second revolution. It features lots of guns and vigilante killing, so Rittenhouse enthusiasts are going to love it. The only downsides to this recommendation are the price and the need for some kind of modern gaming platform, which leaves rednecks with an Xbox One out in the cold. So if Hitman 3 is not an option, may I suggest some real-life fun and games in the form of militia gear? You can find Army Navy surplus junk all over the internet. On the cheaper side, you can get zip ties and rope, so your loved one will be ready for the next coup. If they're really into cosplay, consider a buffalo horned hat, real or fake. Or if you're really a big spender, go for the AR-15 and ammo right out of the chute. You will be the Christmas darling at your cousin's house, I guarantee it. And price ranges anywhere from $5 to however much you have. Naturally, the post recommended some books. Artists in Residence, 17 Artists and Their Living Spaces from Giverny to Casa Azul, The Secret Life of Fungi, Discoveries from a Hidden World, Gastro Obscura, A Food Adventurer's Guide, and The Wit and Wisdom of Bridgerton, Lady Whistledown's Official Guide. You know them's fancy books when they have long titles and longer subtitles. Folks, rednecks don't read, and if they did, they wouldn't read any of this. Nothing says out of touch, blue state, hoity-toity liberal assholes like these book selections. I am sure that these are mostly worthy tomes, with the exception of the Bridgerton thing. What were they thinking? But these are the sorts of things that Obama would give his wife. Oh, how sweet, Barry. It's just the thing I want to place strategically on the antique secretary in the Cape Cod house. These are not the kinds of books that a redneck will feature next to the toilet. Instead of that mess, here are some practical books you can get for your redneck friends. Manufactured Home Repair and Maintenance for 15 bucks. This is a practical book that will provide tons of savings and use over the years as their mobile home slowly molders into the landscape. The Bible for Dummies, $18.95. Give your evangelical cousin a gift that will give them just enough information to get in trouble in Twitter. You know, they'd read The Art of the Deal before they ever read all 1,200 or so pages of the Bible. So this gift provides a facade of knowledge and understanding that they don't have to earn. Also, consider a cable subscription from $4,500 to $5,000 a year, depending on your package. Skip the books and go straight for the gift of Fox News. They have to watch it so they'll know what they're supposed to think. Toy category. Post recommends the Andy Warhol Color Magic Bath Book for $10. I challenge you to read that again without laughing. Andy Warhol Color Magic Bath Book. What the fuck? You think the toy category would be the one thing the Post could get right? With all the corporate cartoon branded bullshit out there to choose from, some yahoo in the newsroom decides to pull up a bath toy inspired by a drug-addled pop artist from the 60s. There are two things rednecks know about Warhol. He was a hippie and his art consisted entirely of soup cans and a guy who slept for 5 hours. Your banana is not impressive, sir. Honestly, if the makers of this toy wanted a big hit with Red America, they should have used Thomas Kincaid. As for my recommendation, I'll bet some of you thought I'd recommend a bottle of Hillbilly Bubble Bath, which is just a jar full of uncooked beans, but no, I am not so predictable. Instead, get your redneck child a Trump squeaky rubber duck, because it's never too early to start indoctrinating the kids into their glorious fascist future. And that's $10. The Post also recommends this Dinosaur Dig sensory bin for $23.95. Y'all can see what the problem is with this, right? There is no Adam and Eve included with this set. Also, in some quarters, the dinosaurs are a massive hoax. So this is like giving your kids pandemic masks for Christmas. Sure, Bobby, it don't exist, but what the fuck? It was on sale. The Post could have gone the easy route with all of this and recommended Barbies and baby doll shit for the girls and dump trucks and pop guns for the boys, but no, they had to try and be fancy and educational. What, they couldn't find a critical race theory version of Monopoly where all white people go to jail and never pass go? In the spirit of the Post suggestion, I have alternate proposals. One is the Noah's Ark Don't Rock the Boat game, which is super educational. For example, notice that there are no dinosaurs in this game. The reason for that is that the dinosaurs got left off of the boat, and that is why they're extinct today. Scientific learning right there. Secondly, the name of the game is Don't Rock the Boat, which is exactly the kind of social learning rednecks love. Little Bobby and Cindy Lou, your life may suck, but under no circumstances are you to rock the boat and endanger our feudalistic system of capitalism, where white people are valued and little kids are molested by church elders. The skies may be dirty and the rivers may burn, but you will always be just a little bit better than everybody else. If balancing plastic animals is too hard because your kid wants to pile everything on the right side, there's always the My Jesus plush doll who will watch over your child night and day and frown when he's sinning and smile when he's bullying the non-Christian kids. My Jesus plush only comes in one color, the correct one. Self-care category. Post recommendation, timeout gift box for $50. Although this is called a timeout gift box, it has nothing to do with yelling at your kids. An outfit called the Salvaged Sawhorse put this thing out, which makes you wonder why on earth these people are tearing up perfectly good sawhorses. Do they not build decks where they come from? Unfortunately, this set comes in cardboard, not a wooden box. It contains mindfulness stuff, like cards that tell you to walk in the woods. Little things to tell yourself like, I don't know, don't pee on your neighbor's grass. Or maybe more like, you're not the total shit for brains your mama always said you were. It also comes with a lavender soy candle, which is not going to go over well at the Super Bowl party. Normally, self-care for a redneck is accomplished by a trip to the liquor store. Although every redneck appreciates a bottle of Jack Daniels, I do have suggestions that are more inventive, like the shower beer holder for $16, which turns a relaxing shower practically into a trailer spa. Or maybe a wearable beer vest that holds an entire 12-pack, which will be really handy at Trump rallies. Remember, nothing says I care more than enabling an alcoholic redneck. Post recommendation, the Tina mask in black with 7mm gold chain by Second Wind. Folks, this is a face mask for $55. Although tacky gold covered items do attract rednecks, see also Donald Trump, that in itself is never going to be enough to induce a redneck to give up his freedom and bodily autonomy to such tyranny. You could throw in a COVID vaccine with a golden needle and the redneck world would say, no, go to hell, you baby eating snowflake. A fun alternative is one of the many varieties of My Body, My Choice t-shirts out there. This can be an especially fun gift if you are actually a Democrat, although you obviously keep this under your hat at family gatherings. Some of the t-shirts for sale are on the more subtle side, which can let you accomplish two things at once with the magic of irony, which rednecks are allergic to. Of course, there are some very obvious fuck Biden shirts out there in this style as well, so it all depends on your goal, I suppose. Price anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks. Food category. The Post recommends a La Maison Inundé bowl for 20 to 62 bucks, depending on the size you order. Folks, Lord have mercy, the Post even fucked up food, which could so easily have been a home run. If it's one thing rednecks know, it's food, and your meemaw can probably whoop up anything better than the high dollar crap that blue state foie gras junkies would come up with. Even a lazy shopper could come up with a gift card for Cracker Barrel and be considered a success, but no. The Post has to recommend an overpriced cereal bowl. What the fuck? So this bowl, which I must point out, cannot be eaten without severe gastric distress. Comes in 3 solid colors, white, blue, or green, and its only remarkable feature is that it has a raised house that sticks out of the center like a Trump supporter giving Antifa the finger. They say it will peek out of your cereal while you eat it, which tells you just how bored these elitist upper middle class assholes really are. All you need to have fun with your cereal is to get yourself some good plastic kid bowls that have all the pictures on the bottom. That way, when you drain your cereal bowl, you get the surprise of seeing Mickey Mouse, or better yet, some kind of NASCAR logo. Maybe something from that Pixar movie about cars, which is the only redneck series they've made. Post recommendation, At Home Matcha Kit by Art of Tea, 55 bucks. This tea kit is also something you cannot eat. It is also something that rednecks have never heard of. Macho, yes. Matcha, not so much. This thing comes with a glass bowl that's too small for cereal, some kind of bamboo spoon, a whisk, and a holder for the whisk because it's fragile or something, I guess. And that's it. This tea kit does not include any actual tea. You have to get your macho tea separately as if you'd even want it. Now, I know lots of rednecks who drink coffee, and some of them still make it the cowboy way on the stove in a percolator. Fun fact, if your electricity goes out in the middle of winter because your state is too far in the pockets of big oil to give a shit whether you live or die, you can always make coffee in a percolator on a gas stove. But I digress. The only way that rednecks drink tea is on ice, with or without sugar, depending on where you grew up. So, a far more practical tea-centric gift would be a Rubbermaid plastic tea pitcher. That sucker comes with a lid, and you can keep it in the fridge and run it through the dishwasher. Get one for your meemaw too. Price, 13 bucks. Travel category. Yes, the Post recommended a vaccination card holder by Vita for 20 bucks. You know the Post needs to stuff this with its fancy gold mask, right? Do the editors at the Post try to come up with hateful crap that will get somebody killed at the family Christmas party? You'd be tempting fate to have this thing in your suitcase, much less bring it to a white elephant. With that in mind, I wanted to say that an alternative might be a redneck wallet for 20 bucks, which is awesome because it will hold all your NRA and militia membership cards. But given the scale of the offense, I'm going to go with a t-shirt that says the media is the virus, which will definitely be a crowd pleaser in Alabama. 22 bucks. The Post recommendation, some cylindrical multitasking camp thing for $135. I mean, good Lord. That is my descriptor for what they call the VSSL Camp Supplies Suuntu edition, which is probably the worst product name on earth. Although this thing resembles a dildo, it is not a dildo. That is either fortunate or unfortunate if you live in one of the US states that has outlawed sex toys. I'm looking at you, Alabama. This item is just a long paper towel tube of containers, which holds supposedly handy items for camping, such as Band-Aids, matches, fishing gear, sewing supplies, and the ever ubiquitous beeswax candle. Liberals love candles, I guess. Of course, no redneck would be seen whipping this out in the wilderness, much less paying over $100 for it. For the same amount of money, you can get yourself a tactical backpack that is Marine approved, or at least that's what the internet tells me. It has loads of pockets and comes in camouflage colors, so you can train for Civil War #2 without shame. Remember, folks, that size does matter to a redneck, and the bigger the backpack, the more guns it will hold. Price, $176 to $210. You have to pay extra for the camouflage. In conclusion, I hope you've enjoyed this holiday gift guide. It was a real sacrifice on my part because my ad recommendations for Google and Facebook are now going to be fucked well into 2022. I'm not really looking for AR-15 ammo, but now I know where to get it. If nothing else, this exercise has shown me just how much junk Americans buy that they don't need and probably don't even want. I know this gets said a lot, but maybe we could quit filling our houses and landfills with so much crap. It gets mentally overwhelming after a while, and now it's overwhelming the planet. So maybe consider taking Meemaw to the rodeo or just watching her favorite TV show with her. Play dominoes with Papaw, something like that. In the meantime, y'all have a Merry Christmas, a blessed Yule, a Happy Hanukkah, and a swell Kwanzaa, or whatever it is you celebrate. Also, fuck fascists. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any commentary, you can send that to me at rednecklesbian2020@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Y'all take care.